Hello. Guys, Ravnica Allegiance is amazing. Forget about Guilds of Ravnica, because it's 2019 and that shit's old. We're doing a top 10 list of EDH cards coming out in Ravnica Allegiance. It's gonna be good. Now this list was not easy to do. There are a ton of sick cards in this set, all of which will probably see some level of play in Commander, and there's no way to do that many honorable mentions in this video. So just enjoy these cards flashing in front of you. That being said, this segues into the typical spiel of how this is a top 10 video and the card choices are my opinion. But I did look at all aspects of a card and consider how they play for you and how much you hate them as they sit across from you. But opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one and you may not like mine, as tempting as it is. So if you don't like the cards I chose, let me know down below. Anyways, hopefully this ran is long enough that all the cards flashed in front of you that didn't make the cut, but I still love and I'll play them, I'm sure. Anyways, here's number 10. Number 10 is an Elfin Ooze, a motherfucking wizard, Harry. It's the leader of the Simic, it's Vannifar. And I know what you're thinking. Jank, you just released a video on how OP Vannifar is. How is she only number 10? Well, if you don't know, go check out that video. Here's a little plug. But Vannifar is all about the combos. She's a birthing pod on a freak. Intruder Alarm and Thornbite Staff made some mad bank when she was released. But that's her limit. She's there for the combo. You know what's gonna happen when you sit down with her, and so does everyone else. Even with her in your hand, you're gonna be paranoid to play her. She's too good in Commander. She's strong and scary, and while she can win while you're playing the game, she'll make you the President Lincoln in the Commander theater. By the end of spoiler season, we often forget about the initial spoilers, but not this fucking guy. Here we have Lavinia, Azureus, Renegade. You know what? Fuck the Azureus. We have goddamn Tobias Funke in charge now, but Lavinia's having none of it. She stops your opponents from playing non-creature spells with costs bigger than the number of lands they have, so eat shit, Sol Ring and company. Mana rocks are just rocks, thanks to Lavinia. Also, you gotta respect Lavinia's sense of hard work. She doesn't let your opponents play stuff for free. She values working hard for that goal. So all those expertise spells, you're gonna shove them down the Tally's fucking throat, because Lavinia is in the house. However, she lacks luster in the late game, so she's only number 9. Okay, this is where people click away. I can feel her in me bones. But numero 8 is Simic Ascendancy. Whenever you plop a +1/+1 counter on one of your critters, the Ascendancy gets a growth counter, and if it has 20 or more on your upkeep, you win the game. Now, before you put me up on the cross, let me explain. 20 +1/+1 counters is easy, guys. You ever hear Cathar's Crusade, Juniper Order Ranger? That shit paired with tokens will make your Simic Ascendancy swole. Did I use that word right? Also, meet my buddy Colonian Hydra. That shit doubles all the +1/+1 counters on your creatures on attack. And motherfucking doubling season. Come on, it gets crazy. It doubles the counters on your creatures and then the counters on your Ascendancy. And proliferate? Jesus, I'm glad the haters fucking left, because they just missed some crazy ass shit. End-Raze Forerunners is a 7/7 for 5 and 3 green that has a Vigilance, Trample, and Haste and gives every creature you control +2/+2 and Vigilance and Trample. That's a mouthful. Ah, fuck. I can hear it now. Well, it's a worse Craterhoof. No shit, because you're comparing it to a goddamn Craterhoof, one of the best green creatures in the game. These pigs are already way better than that other Craterhoof that Eldrazi bore, because this is an enter the battlefield effect. So if you blink it or recur these guys, you get to do it again. Yes, it's not going to buff all your 1/1s to 10/10s, but can buff them to 3/3s and allow you to survive the crackback, because now they have Vigilance. Also, not everyone has the money to shell out for a Craterhoof, so I'm telling you this, these pigs are good, you should play them, don't listen to the armchair pros.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
I don't like burn spells in EDH. I think they're weak, but I don't think I could have excluded Electro Dominance in this list. You get to burn for X and then play something that's X or less for free, well, if Lavinia lets you. And you can do it all at instant speed. So, you could burn someone in the face for 8 and then drop those pigs, or you can burn them for 10 at the end of their turn and drop Omniscience. I can see that being played in blue-red, green-red, white red, black red, just red, and the point is it's good. It's monocolored and it can spit out whatever you want at the end of an opponent's turn with the mana you held up for counters or buffs or whatever you were anticipating that didn't happen. So this card was originally lower on the list, but the more I looked at it, the grosser it became. Miss Teysa Karlov. If a creature dying causes a permanent you control to trigger, it triggers another time. It's Panharmonicon on death. That's nuts. Dictate of Erebos, twice. Blood Artists, twice. Token Makers, twice. Card Drawers, twice. Azureus, twice. If you're itching for murder, this chick has got your back and you're gonna love it. But wait, there's more. She gives all your tokens, vigilance, and lifelink. So after you sacrifice your own goddamn army for value, you give those ghosts some guns and tell them to get the fuck back to work. God damn it, I love you, Teysa. Here we are, the top 4, and guess what cracks the lineup? A filthy uncommon. Wilderness Reclamation untaps your lands at your end step. Hear that? Kruphix and Omnath just came. Obviously much weaker than previous iterations like Seedboard and Muse and Prophet of Kruphix, but weaker versions of amazing cards are still gonna be good. Pop this out on turn 4 and you can cast an 8 to 10 cost instant spell on your next end step by tapping your lands at the beginning of your end step while this trigger is on the stack. Or you can just poop out a big flashy fuck. Yes, flash is a thing and this enables all of it. Just all of it. From the turn it's played. Or just keep that mana up for counter spells, mana sinks, combat tricks, or just to build a big middle finger of untapped lands to flip off your opponent. You ever wonder how they make cards? I'm starting to think they do it by just making erotic fan fictions of other cards. Priest of Forgotten Gods literally looks like Whisper, Fleshbag Marauder, Blood Artist, Dark Ritual, and Grim Haruspex all climbed into bed together, and 9 months later this girl popped out praising the pagan lords. Yes, by sacking 2 creatures, you get rid of an opponent's creatures, ping them for 2, get 2 black mana and draw a card, and this can all be done at instant speed. Pair this with Dictate of Erebos or Butcher of Malakir, and each opponent has to sack 3 creatures. And get a load of this, this isn't a mana ability, so Illusion Embracers on her actually double all of these effects just by sacking 2 creatures. The value on this creature is nuts, and she's mono black. Any black token decks want to play this, nay, need to play this. And here's another tidbit. Use Thornbite Staff, so she untaps when you sack a creature, and if you sack Gravecrawler, you can bring it back with the black mana you make, if you control another zombie. But if you had 2 Gravecrawlers, this goes infinite. Oh fuck, I'm taking this to modern. I like drawing cards, don't you? How about Ingrained? Sounds pretty good, eh? Well, Guardian Project does just that. If a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control and it doesn't share a name with another creature you control or in your graveyard, you draw a card. So basically it says whenever you play EDH and a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you draw a card. Now let's get something straight here. This is enter the battlefield, not on cast, so get that Beast Whisperer shit out of my face. This means that adds a draw a card effect to every creature spell you have, every blink spell you cast, every recursion spell you use, every tutor spell that births a creature onto the battlefield, they all have draw a card stapled to them. This is a green commander staple right now. But I know some will argue that it's worse than Elemental Bond because it won't trigger off tokens. Well, I'd argue that drawing a card off a mana dork is also quite nice, but I will concede that Elemental Bond is still quite good. So here's my opinion. Shut the fuck up and play both. Here we are, number 1. And in all of my 2 top 10 videos, I'd never thought I'd see a mono white card at number 1. But here it is, Smothering Tithe. Yes, the white Ristic study whose art is reminiscent of the drunken time you thought you could reclaim all the swear change from the swear jar. For 3 and a white, you get an enchantment that says whenever an opponent draws a card, they can pay 2, and if they don't, you make a treasure token that you can tap and sack for 1 mana of any color. So white now has mana ramp, huh? This means in a pod of 4 people, if you crack this off on turn 4 and hit your land drop on turn 5, you'll potentially have 8 mana if no one pays the tax. Turn 5 Elish Norn, anyone? And that tax is heavy, no one wants to pay 2 on their 4th turn, and if they do, then you've already slowed them down. It's a win-win for you. Best of all, these tokens are artifacts, and you know what cares about artifacts? A lot of shit. I already want 4 copies of these. They need to go in every white EDH deck ever. Stock up while you can, cause this shit is gold. But now whoever pulls off an EDH win with this and Revel in Riches, you have my respect. And that's the real treasure here. And that's the list. If you don't like it, that's okay, I still love you. Let me know why you disagreed with some stuff below. And what cards are you most excited for in Ravnica Allegiance? Let me know. Anyways, that's what I got. Like, subscribe, comment, share this shit around, and enjoy Ravnica Allegiance, because this is the best set ever.